Allison here. Today, I wanted to talk to you guys about the Aligned Wealth Roadmap, which is a free resource that I have on how to have sustainable business growth in a way that won't have you hating your life. This is probably not a great time to do this for two reasons. Number one, my cat just decided to aggressively cuddle with me. He's right here. Say hello. And number two, I have a meeting in 15 minutes, but that's good news because that means this video will be short and you'll be able to watch it easily. But I wanted to just explain this roadmap and give you guys the link again and tell you why I'm so passionate about it. So I have been a blogger since 2011, and then I was a marketing manager for many years, and I've been coaching since 2017, which is kind of a long time in internet years. And the process that I've always kind of taught for a long time, it was like product and then marketing and then sales. And then when I got more into mindset in 2019, it became mindset, offer, I don't know, traffic, and then sales, I think is kind of the four pillars I've been working on. And what I found by using that framework was like the mindset was transformative. It was so helpful, but people were hitting these invisible walls. And they were hitting these invisible walls after having huge mindset breakthroughs. And so the more I was coaching people, the more I was like, what is happening where some people are having these huge successes and then having to take a break for months, or some people are having to take a very long time to build up to their first success. And so the process in the Aligned Wealth Roadmap is my process for helping growth to not just be a little bit more reliable, or let's say success, it's helping success to become more reliable and growth to be more consistent and sustainable over time. So that is why I designed this Aligned Wealth roadmap and this kind of new framework, which I'm going to explain in 13 minutes or less, because I have a very hard stop. So I have the link down below where you can actually download this roadmap. I'm going to be referencing it on my own in a separate screen, which I will kind of put where I can see you and see this at the same time. And so the Aligned Wealth Roadmap has 4 steps. So like I said, the way that I used to teach frameworks for like how to monetize in a business was mindset, creating your offer and your messaging, and then getting traffic and visibility, and then getting sales. And now the way that I teach it is first I teach elevated mindset, so same thing there. Second, we work on increasing income and growth, which encompasses all of those parts of the process I mentioned before. That is refining your offering, your pricing, and your messaging, and that is getting traffic and visibility, and that is selling and scaling, but it's all within that one step. And the third step is regulating your nervous system. I'll talk about this more in a second, but this is one of those invisible walls that my clients kept hitting that was making them have to either quit or take a break for months after having huge success. And then number 4 is allowing your success and mastering your energy, which you can't really do until you've done all those other steps, which I'll talk about in the next 12 minutes. So those are the 4 steps, and they really build in, like if you can see in the Aligned Wealth Roadmap, you'll see there's like a pyramid. And the foundation of this pyramid is, or like the bottom and the biggest part of this pyramid, is allowing your success. But we start at the top, which is elevating your mindset. Because once you work on, so that's the first step to the Aligned Wealth Roadmap, is elevating your mindset. The reason why we start with this step is because mindset is the number one thing. It's the very first bottleneck that you're going to experience that's going to stop you from being able to monetize. And mindset, it's all up here. It's all up in your brain. It's the limiting beliefs, it's self-doubt, confidence issues. And so if you can start breaking through those invisible walls right away, like one of the biggest mindset issues that people don't see is thinking that money is bad. If we don't address that before working on increasing your income and growth, then you're going to hit this bottleneck really early on, and it's going to take you a long time to make money. So the very first step in the Aligned Wealth Roadmap is elevating your mindset, because that is the biggest barrier to increasing your income and your growth. If you don't believe you're going to be able to achieve something, if you don't believe that you can, if you don't think it's going to work, it won't. That's why we have to address mindset and limiting beliefs first. But mindset is a very small part of kind of the mindfulness and embodiment you need to have as a business owner. And it's just the first step. And the second step is increasing your income and your growth. So in order to have aligned wealth and to have a sustainably growing business, we can't just like hope for the best and only work on mindset and nervous system, right? You can work on your nervous system and on healing and on allowing your success all day long, but without the practical steps and strategies it takes to make money, In my opinion, some people would disagree with this. Samantha Skelly is the owner and founder of Pause Breathwork, which is one of the certifications I'm in, and she would say you just need the energy. And like, I'm glad that works for her. But for most of us early on in business, we do need the practical steps. We can't just rely on energy and mindset. We also have to know, what am I selling? How am I selling it? How can I do that consistently in a way that feels good to me? And the other reason why we address this income, this increasing your income and growth as a second step, is because I want to make sure that you feel really solid on growing your income as soon as possible in a sustainable way. This is one of the results I'm just really, really proud of in the Mastermind Worthy of Wealth. People come into the program and we work on their mindset. And the very next thing we do is we look at their offers and their pricing and their messaging, and we narrow all that down. We make it really simple, and they're increasing their income, usually doubling or tripling or quadrupling their income within a matter of months, just because we worked on mindset first and then optimizing their offer. So the first step to increasing your income after adjusting your mindset is optimizing your offer, your pricing, and the way you deliver it. The goal is to take advantage of low-hanging fruit, and that's a good reason to hire a coach to help you see the low-hanging fruit, because they or me, I have context of a lot of different businesses and individuals, and I also have intuition that I was born with, but also I have a lot of practice using as a business coach to help you know what the low-hanging fruit is. The other thing, other reason why we focus on this step next when we're looking at aligned wealth and sustainable growth is because when it comes to making money, we want two things: short-term money and long-term stability. So we're looking for short-term wins, like going after higher ticket clients or having higher ranking blog posts, whatever it is your business is. We want to look at those short-term priority wins, and then we want to look at the long-term goals. So maybe your short-term wins are, I'm going to get more consulting clients, but the long-term win is, I want to build more passive income on the blog. So you need safety financially in order to be creative, which is why we address the short term with the long term. So after we've done this, now we've established a baseline of safety at a practical level by increasing your income and stabilizing its growth. Now we get to work on something really, really important that I was missing with my clients for most of my career, which is regulating your nervous system. This is what was being broken when I had clients who would go from $0 to $20,000 months. Their nervous system was not ready to receive that and handle it. So they were freaking out. They'd never had that much money before, some of them. So a regulated nervous system is not only critical for experiencing joy and peace for the long term, but it's also really important for being able to maintain that growth. So we have to do the mindset issues of like, I believe that I'm worth this. And we also have to be able to calm down, because ultimately, early on in business, the way that you feel is like this: up, down, up, down, up, down. By regulating your nervous system, it's like, I get a big sale, I have a big slump, highest ad revenue ever, lowest month ever, right? Or whatever it is. That's what it feels like early on in business. What we want it to feel like, even if your growth is still a little bit like this, we want your business to feel like this, because this is more manageable and maintainable for your nervous system. And it's also going to help you feel like your highs may not feel as high, but you're going to feel better all the time when you can regulate your nervous system. Regulating your nervous system also builds resilience, so that when bad things happen, we don't go to those lows. We say like, oh, that client canceled their contract, that was a bummer. We can get right back up and say, oh, God and the universe support me, I'm going to be okay, right? But that's also the benefit of stabilizing your income, which we worked on in the last step, is that if you lose one of your income streams, you should be more stable than you were before, if we worked on that correctly. Then the last step to the aligned wealth roadmap is allowing your success. This is really about mastering your energy, and this we cannot do until you've regulated your nervous system. Because if you have a dysregulated nervous system, you're very out of tune with your energy levels and how you feel. So we have to regulate our nervous system so we can pay more attention to our energy. And this is the magic. This is where we get to the point in business where we're not just working on sales and marketing, but we're working on like manifesting. And if manifesting is not a word that works for you, then we're working on leaning back. We're working on receiving. So early on in business, a lot of our energy is like chasing, right? We're like leaning forward and chasing. What we want it to feel like over time is leaning back, especially as we scale. And so allowing your success, it's not just positive thinking. It's not just regulating your nervous system. It's visualizing your desired outcome over and over again, and practicing the true art of receiving. How do you feel when you get paid? Does growth feel safe? Do you know that you deserve your success? Are you clear about what you actually want in the long term? Is it $20,000 months? Is it $100,000 months? Maybe you feel awesome at $10,000 months. Getting clear on what you want and removing other people's messaging. Um, when you tap into this energy and then balancing like what is called the masculine and the feminine of the I'm going to go after it and chase it versus I'm going to be creative, lean back, create space. When we balance those two things, it makes decisions a lot easier. Um, and you can take your business way beyond what you thought from a practical level with less effort. That's the balance of practicing this energy. But again, we can't practice managing energy until we've regulated your nervous system. It's hard to regulate your nervous system if you haven't made enough money to where you're financially safe. And it's hard to make enough money to be financially safe unless you have decided that money is not a bad thing and you've mastered your limiting beliefs. So that's why we do it in this very specific order. So at the very end of the Aligned Wealth Roadmap, I do talk about some ways that you can work with me. The best thing to do, though, if that feels good to you, is just like book a casual call. These calls could be just straight up strategy calls or a traditional sales call, or we can do what's called an aligned what is it called? An aligned income audit call, where we're just looking at how are you making money? What are your ideas? What are the low hanging fruit? You'll come away from the call with me with some value, even if we don't decide to work together. But if it makes sense to possibly work together, I'll tell you what those options are. So if you're ready for massive and reliably growing income so that you can enjoy your business and say yes to more things in life, I would love to help you. So book your free aligned income audit. And the best thing to do, again, is just to get this freebie, which is this Aligned Wealth Roadmap, which is linked below. Take a look at it. You're going to get some emails after that. And then if you feel pretty good, or if you're feeling just kind of curious, then book a call with me. I can't believe I did that in 13 minutes. We met our timeline. So thank you guys who were actually showed up here live for this spontaneous little explanation. And hopefully you guys claim that. And I will see you soon somewhere on the internet. Okay, bye.